What's up, gang? This is Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. Not per usual, I am here with Mr. Kevin Kellum, who's joining us today to talk a little bit of the AEW Dynamite. Kev, how are you, man?
Doing pretty good, pretty good. I'm happy to be the fill-in man here once again for you guys. What a week!
What a week!
What a week! Still digesting everything from the Royal Rumble. I was there. It was quite the spectacle, and we'll talk about some AEW today. But this is WWE's. Yeah, they're on a roll, man. They're on a big roll. Whether you like it or not, that is the truth of the matter right now.
It is. That is the to the heart of the matter, as Don Henley once said. What was your experience, live experience there, being at the Rumble and everything like
that? It's just 70,000 people. I wasn't in the press box. I had seats about maybe 20 rows off the floor. This is my third Rumble I've been to. It is a show that really gets the hardcores talking online. But I will say this is the first go of Indianapolis hosting a show. So hardcores can talk about what they want. For me, it was like I may be going to Indianapolis at least 3 or 4 times in the next couple of years for other major WWE events. How do they host this thing? How do they do it? Indianapolis is not a big city. It's not a huge city. So how do they have all these things? Do they have the infrastructure or the hotels there? I'll say this. It was really well organized. The stadium needs some work. Not to say it's a behind the time stadium, but it's just, I think maybe an extra 10, 15,000 people there that they're not used to having can be a little bit more overwhelming structurally. But, trying to find a cell phone charger is my problem, not the problem of everybody there. So that's just something for me, and cell signals and different stuff like that. But everything is downtown. Like you can get back to your hotel like relatively quickly. Some limited options, but like they took over the town. Like everyone saw this. They renamed some of the streets temporarily to be like Cody Roads. I have a clip of goofing around with that. They have Cody Road. They had Yeet Street. They had all these. It was like, that's such a clever thing. So Indiana Sports Corps, who put this together, has done a really good job, and they're going to bring WrestleMania and SummerSlam there in the next few years, plus several different Monday Night Raws, different things like that. I think not just Indianapolis, but the state of Indiana in general. But good job, and good on a Midwestern city. You wouldn't expect to have this too.
Right. It's Royal Rumble. People like had their criticisms of who won and all that crap, but isn't that every year almost? It seems like.
Oh no, that's going to be every year. And they were booing the person that won it on Monday night just to prove that they could boo somebody, and then overwhelmingly cheer someone who won it too.
Yeah, exactly. One side of the coin and the other. It's pretty crazy. We covered that pretty good on yesterday with Robert, but did want to share it, give some shout outs to some folks here in the chat. We got Alt Jake, who's doing the Good Morning Vietnam for us. Robin Williams style. We got a Triple E in here. What's up? Morning Rumor Head says Joseph Wade Walters. Johnny Disco, good morning, RNI. And we got Wrestling Old Head in here too. Howdy, it's a dynamite tonight. Are you so excited? Oh, we are. And yes, Trey Owens also adds Ricochet vs. Swerve, the sequel. Yes, we'll be talking about that. And before we get to that, though, we did have a little surprise on NXT. Somebody came back. Mr. Fandango returned.
No, you have to say it right.
Fandango.
They still refer to him by his TNA name. I did think this was interesting. Of course, Alexis King, who has the most aggressively bad facial hair of any human being I've ever seen. It looks like a creator wrestler character that you mess around with too much, and he's a real human being.
Yeah. But I think
he has like a tribal tattoo, but it's just his facial hair. So he's the Heritage Cup champion. He comes out there. He cuts. I would describe as far too long of a promo. Like he's going on and on and on and on, and it's in that controlled space. And there's one person just doing this in the background that drove me crazy. My ADD was driving me crazy when I watched this. And he's like, and like he's just trying to like fill the space behind him, and like there's one person like trying to turn themselves into like a tornado alarm, and it was I was just like, I just want to hear this guy cut a promo so I can boo him, and I want to boo you, and he was going on and on and on, and then we got cut off by that music that everyone knew from like what 2013, 13, 14.
Yeah.
A Fandango, big dancing man in WWE, got released. He's over in TNA. He's JDC in TNA, right? Dango over in TNA shows up here, and now it's another sign of the door being open between TNA. And he hasn't been that active. I know he's in the System faction in TNA wrestling, but WWE having this now open door policy here with TNA allows them to do stuff like this. But they did say he was JDC. They didn't say Fandango.
Yeah.
And they will have a Heritage Cup match next week. The rules of the Heritage Cup, where they would do the 3 rounds, like every match is a best of 3, out the window. Now it's just a championship. It's just a championship. It's out the window. Everything that made it special, gone. It was like, I mean, I don't think they ever played around with it long enough to have fun with it. It was an interesting concept for them to try to continue some of the European wrestling vibes, but I don't think it ever really caught on the way they intended.
Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty cool and refreshing to bring guys like that back. People like Fandango and in NXT and in WWE. So getting him back in the mix kind of gives him a fresh paint of coat, as it were say, and makes it look good. So I'm all for that. And that crossover stuff is really, really cool. And it's exciting to see what they'll be doing as we head into WrestleMania. So pretty good stuff there. But guys, it is time to get excited. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Because we're talking a little AEW Dynamite. Oh yeah, the Dynamite's on tonight, and we got a little bit of
mustache chat. People talking. I don't mean I know ADD, but people are getting into who has the greatest facial hair of all time in professional wrestling.
Is it Scott Steiner? Could you make an argument for
Scott Steiner? He has that like where it was beach blonde, but then it was black in some parts, right?
Yeah. What about Hogan? Hollywood Hogan.
Hogan had the aggressively weird. He had the dyed 5 o'clock shadow beard, but then he kept the Fu Manchu blonde.
Yes.
I also had someone hit me up on Twitter when I posted about Lexus King having just aggressively bad facial hair. Someone also sent me Triple H when he had the mutton chop, a mustache, but he just took that from Lemmy from Killmeister, Lemmy Killmeister from Motorhead. And I didn't think it was that bad, but that one's pretty bad. Some people say Jim the Anvil Neidhart with the long goatee, but I thought he pulled it off. Pulled it off.
Yeah. The best facial hair. That's a tough one, I would think.
Yeah, Jim Neidhart, other people saying it. Someone also mentioning or Dirty Dom Mysterio and his mustache. That is a weird mustache.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think worst though, hands down, facial hair is Lexus King.
Yes, absolutely. Far and away, number one on the worst wrestling facial hair.
It automatically did your eyes go to his facial hair, and it's just so distracting and weird. Mm-hmm. Well, how will we be distracted tonight? We got Ricochet versus Swerve Strickland. They've built this up. They've promoted this. I'll give them credit for it. But does this not feel like this should be on a pay-per-view?
You know what? At this point, how long until their next pay-per-view? You know what I mean? How long?
Revolution's the next one, right? So
yeah, I mean, I'm all right with it. I'm fine with it. And here's why, as I burp. Because how much TV do you have? How much TV do you have every time? People bring this up with WWE now too. They have so much television they do. All right. Just compare it to WWE. Some of you are just WWE heads. Right. For AEW, it's not too different. They don't have nearly as many premium live events. They have so much television to do before they get to the next one. You got to have some big matches that pay some stuff off. And I think you're going to start having some big payoffs on television and have them just be on television. And that's not what it once was. Oh, this is such a big thing. And then you do the payoff and it's on TV, but it's not on pay-per-view. In this day and age, think of what you actually have and what you output and how people consume those things. You're on streaming. You want to catch people on streaming now on Max. You want to always get people to want to rewatch your show or check out the clips or have a big moment. It makes sense. They need big payoff moments. They need things that get people talking the way they were talking about that Timeless Tony Storm element, which got more traction online after it aired, So I think you want to have these amazing matches. Oh, I should have been watching last night. I missed something big. And they built up to this one with promos and angles for at least 2 months now, so do it, they're in the under position here. And I think they need to do more stuff like this. I've seen TNA do this here and there, and it's a smart thing for them to do. And what's to say you have a really cool match and you can't have a big rematch on the pay-per-view once you get to it, or one of them lays each other out or something like that. And if it gets you and I, who are just in the wool of this stuff, talking about what could happen next, that means it's got something. This is one of the better programs they have. Yeah. And it does seem to compel, and it's simple. It's been a very, very simply done. I attack you, I lay you out. I've now become a dorky douche who doesn't understand how I'm messing up, and Swerve calls you out on it. And now I'm it's hubris. That's what they're going for. And I could see them having a really, really great match. Ricochet, he's still coming into his own as a character on AEW. He's had great matches, though. And that's what they can do. They need great characters. They need great stories. Now have a great match and pay it off, and let's get to the next one.
Well, what you're saying, too, fair point, is that, their next pay-per-view is March 9th. It's Revolution. So they got a little bit of a ways to go. So
it's over a month.
Yeah, over a month.
How many weeks of TV do you have until then? You know what I mean?
You got a good amount of time. So I think, and Andrew Hermes, our research guy for Arn, says they also need to give people reason to watch the product. That's really true too. So, as far as how the outcome of the match is concerned, I almost feel like Ricochet needs to win this one. He's got to get like a little bit more in this new heel persona we're talking about. That's, I think, very captivating and very, the perfect route for him right now. But I think you need to have him get a win over a big star, so this new persona feels like a big deal.
And it has to be chicken shiz. It has to be something that makes you fairly clearly understand how much you're not supposed to like him. Mm-hmm. The people threw toilet paper at him in New York City. I saw that. That was cool, but I don't know if it's relative everywhere, and there's a lot of things they do in one town that maybe don't translate to another. Mm-hmm. And they have a handful of characters where you can tell where they stand on the line of black and white, and in terms of being good or bad, they just dial things in and make them simple. And it doesn't have to be too complicated. I think the only issue that AEW always comes across, and they had this when Cody was there, they had this early on, even when they were great, overbooking things, making things too much, where nothing really settles in. There's just too much going on. WWE does this too. It drives me crazy sometimes. Just like let it be simple, and have them go out there and tell a story. Don't get it too. If Prince Nana has to get involved, great. If you have to do something that does some shenanigans, but just let them be shenanigans, not shenanigans and shenanigans and shenanigans, and let me get my shiz in because I got to get my shiz in because you did this. And like, no. One simple note, play it, and then I want to see it. I want to see him do something else later on.
Absolutely. You talk about shenanigans. That was a reference to Super Troopers. But guess what else is super, Kev?
If another one of you boys says shenanigans right now, I'll shoot you myself.
The other thing that is super is...
Hey, Farvo, where's that place we went to that has all the crazy crap on the wall?
I'm trying to do a segue, dang it. This ain't the little itty-bitty, teeny-tiny bowl. This is the Super Bowl. 59. Get in action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 59. Scoring touchdowns is key to hoisting the Vince Lombardi Trophy, and you have a shot to score big by betting them at DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. All you got to do, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code RUMOR. That's code RUMOR for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you just bet $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Farva.
What's that promo code again? Just give it to me one more time. I want to make sure I get that.
Rumor. Download the DraftKings.
And I get that at I go to DraftKings.com. I type in the promo code.
Yes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and you can use it. Boom.
And how much do I get? How much do I get again?
You place a $5 bet, you get $200 back in bonus. So check it out.
Oh, wow, that's not too bad, especially this weekend. With
the Super Bowl.
There you go. The big bowl of game.
Yes, the big bowl of game. Mm-hmm. What else we got? A big bowl of tag team action going on. We got Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita taking on Buddy Matthews and Brody King. This is an intriguing match. AEW's kind of been positioning Buddy Matthews and Brody King in a better light. They've been getting more of a bit of a shine going on. So I'm foreseeing both these teams. I hope they keep Brody and Buddy a little bit heated up, despite them being against Fletcher and Takeshita. What do you think of this, Kev?
They can have a great match. They can have a solid match. I want to see more story. This is another situation where you have players, you have new characters, you have this new refined version of what was once the House of Black. Like, why is it different? What makes it different? They're still figuring that out. They've done some vignettes, and Brody's taken on more of a speaking role, which I think is cool because he can pull that off, and you can enjoy that. But you have to have them have a defined identity that continues to be really separate from, we were these weird black occult darkness metal people. Now we're more brightly colored metal people, like heavy, I just need a little bit more of this was that, this is this. And I want to see it and have them wreck them. Whatever with Don Callis and his family. It's weird because you have two different teams at two different points. Like Don Callis' family is busy. They have to look cool though. The Don Callis family has to look cool because they have that big match coming up at Grand Slam against Kenny Omega and Ospreay, and they can't look like goofs and get beat by this team that isn't going to be featured prominently on that show in Australia. That's about a week and a half from now. So I'm pretty sure this one's going to end up in a schmaz. I don't see a real hard ending from this one.
I hope so. I hope that they do that, because
even if there's a win, you know what I mean? I don't feel like a definitive winner from this one.
Yeah, I would like to think that too, because it's just like we're so used to AEW over the years having just distinct winner and loser, and I can understand some of the sentiment to that, but there's a reason there's some storytelling, and so you want to kind of protect some guys, and I hope everybody gets protected in this one from a storytelling standpoint.
Jake says, hate to tell you, the Callis family already looks like goofs.
It's well, that's what leads me to the next match that we're going to talk about here is Ospreay versus a Don Callis family member. Not revealed who it could
we don't know who it is. Is this the Hook now? This is the wrestling TV Hook. Who could it be? Who is the mystery man? But it's a member of the Don Callis family. Is it a new member of the Don Callis family? Is it Don Callis himself?
Is it Lance Archer, who we've seen? And the only one that hasn't faced Will Ospreay.
Dre Owens. Who's the fifth man? It's so simple. It's such like a trope, but I'm like, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. They're gonna try and do something to keep you on your toes. Andrew H says, no way DCFF. I said DCFF, like the Department of Child Affairs. Yes. Don Callis family loses. The bad thing, your repackaged team takes the L. Yeah, that's another thing. Is it's a schmaz finish, but yeah, I think they'll survive. People have questions about Alexa Bliss. I want to be able to answer that before we get off air here, if we could.
Yes,
I see
we'll
that.
definitely talk about that too, for sure.
What do you think of this whole thing with the Don Callis family?
They were positioned as such as just from the physical appearance of them all, they look dominant and like amazing. Like it looks like you're a top heel faction. But to what people are saying in the chat, and rightfully so, they have been booked badly. I think they just look like fodder for your main event stars. And we've had guys like Brian Cage and Lance Archer. They've garnered that reputation, unfortunately, in AEW because how they've been booked. So it's not. Them being together could have been
big dudes. That's two gigantically big people.
And it could have been an opportunity for you to build them and make them seem like the big deal that they should be, but they haven't done that. And so we get that pentameter that we keep getting with these guys is, okay, they're lined up, they're going to lose. They're lined up, they're going to lose. And I mean, if I had to take a bet, I would say one of them is going to, whoever is facing Ospreay tonight is going to lose. So we're just used to that, and I like the Don Callis family, this current, or I guess the original reiteration of them when it came to like Will Hobbs being in there and everybody. But now it just seems like, where are we going with these guys? What we get from a lot of these factions. So,
but they're a heel faction. They're not the Death Riders. So that's a TV group that I think is just universally thumbed down by so many people now. Other people saying, who could that fifth man be? There is going to be a member of the Don Callis family that will take on Will Ospreay tonight as we broadcast to you. We don't know who that person is. Some people in the chat have their idea. Who is this fifth man? Someone said it's Don Callis's mom.
Huh? Like Buff Bagwell's mom.
Yes. Dolores Castle will be making her pro wrestling debut tonight against the greatest wrestler of all time, depending on who you talk to on the internet, Will Ospreay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, I mean, I hope they surprise us with somebody that's not unexpected. That's very unexpected. I think that would be really cool a cool opportunity to kind of get some buzz going with this and the Don Callis family in particular.
What's Dolores's finisher? What do you think Dolores Castle's finisher is? What are we talking about? Chokeslam? Maybe just a stern mom look.
Ooh, that's scary enough. I say to keep it with the Bagwell kind of line, a Buff Blockbuster.
A Buff Block. I'm gonna say she does the mom pinch. The right under the right here.
That's her submission finisher. She's
she gets the elbow up.
Yeah.
And works the body part, but it's still a mom pinch. Like when a mom would pinch you and you be at a store and she would get over here.
That's not good. I don't like that feeling.
I can't take you anywhere.
We do have MJF. He's set to appear. Following up with Jeff Jarrett, our boy Jeff Jarrett. Should be it. This has been a rocky road for this storyline a little bit.
This started way hotter, and I think it's fizzled out so fast.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to. I want, like, I was on paper. I was like, "Ooh, this is interesting. This is like you have Jeff Jarrett. He's gonna try and take a shot at the world title. It's his final year in the ring. Okay, great. But the problem is, and I don't mean to be the contrast and compare guy, but look at the conversation around this. The conversation around this does it move the needle? Not yet. Is it top of the card? No.
Nope.
It isn't presented as top of the card. Is MJF top of the card? Yes, but here he is doing something with somebody who is not and is not going to be. Like Jeff Jarrett is not going to be presented as a top level guy. You don't think he's going to win the world title, but it's interesting to see someone at his age, an extended time, try and do that. And can he still go? He can, but you're not going to have him in the ring all the time at his age. You want it to be rare and protect him. And he had a fair to Midland match with Claudio Castagnoli. There's nothing like, oh my God, this is amazing. It was fine, and they did all the bells and whistles to work around whatever you have to do. And I also think Jeff looks great for his age. He looks very, very exceptionally strong for his age. But you're trying to do some different things. They had that long promo where they swore at each other and they put like 2-3 weeks worth of stuff into one promo, and they had Karen get involved, and no one's talking about Karen getting involved in the same way that they should be. And she got like physically grabbed by MJF. That should be enough to like get to a match now, So they did that. So it's kind of like jumping the gun. It felt like overproduced early on. So now you're trying to like get the momentum to come. Is this supposed to go to all the way to Revolution in March, like a month from now? So other people, is Double J much older than Cope? Yes, he is. He's 54. 54?
Yeah, he's probably not 10 years. He's probably like 8 years or 7 years or something like that.
But good on him, and he's still trying to make it interesting and compelling. I just don't see it being the needle mover it's supposed to, because the problem is you have everyone saying, oh, this is a farewell thing. Like, I have to do this before I'm done. Yeah. WWE's doing the same thing with John Cena. And you have this guy on TV every week. John Cena is only going to be on pay-per-view. And that's not a shot at Jeff. I adore Jeff. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer in any Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame of wrestling promotions he has never even wrestled in. You know what I mean? He's like that much a part of the business. But I don't think it's his fault. This is how he's been produced. How he's been produced, how he's been presented, how he's been, edited and wrangled in. And I don't know if I'll say this, I'll be critical about this. Is MJF doing him favors by pushing things into this territory that they don't need to go to? And I'm not saying, oh, he's going too far. I'm just saying, like, do you think this is MJF's fault? When you cut these promos, am I wrong? You cut these promos. Do you have to make your opponent look like such less than, in a way? You have to. There was a Jericho thing. I remember reading Jericho's book where he's like, you want to insult somebody, but do you want to do it in a way that makes them feel like they aren't going to be able to hang in the ring with you?
Yeah, you got to walk that balance. Are you referring to which aspects are you referring to makes him feel lesser than that MJF is necessarily doing? Do you think
you're the death of a wrestling promotion? Like, okay. You know what I mean? Like when they had that angle, when he's, oh, if you're here, then we're out of business. I was like, dude. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah, that seemed a little counterproductive. I think
why would it? But why would I want to watch the match then?
right. I think if he hit on some really like hurtful, yet you were both in on it kind of comments.
They did the Owen stuff, which I thought was
and the drinking stuff. I think you can play into that a little bit and make that more of a hey, okay, this gives some incentive.
And we're gonna go somewhere WWE won't with their storylines and stuff like that. I understand that,
okay.
But I'm also like, who's producing these guys? Dialogue wise, we need to hit these points. Boom, 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 boom. All right, you have this time, and it just felt like, I don't want to call it poor execution, but it's just another thing you see at AEW from time to time. It's like, who's reeling them in? Who's giving them here are the check marks you have to hit, and I enjoy creativity, but then there's some people that I'm not saying you shouldn't be creative, but you have like way too much freedom to stay within the boundaries of what you're supposed to hit. And then it ends up just not feeling like it's supposed to feel.
Right. Hey, but if you want to feel good, Kev, and you want to smell good, especially if you're in Atlanta, it's hot Atlanta in AEW on Dynamite tonight. So you got to make sure that you wear the proper kind of stuff.
What's that?
That is Mando. Mando. I get from them. The Mount Fuji's my favorite, my number one. I got the spray, I got the deodorant stick, I got the bar of soap. You can't beat it. And you got to smell good, especially with your around wrestling fans. You want to keep that reputation a little bit better.
Oh, I was at a stadium with wrestling fans. I was at a convention where you're right next to people.
Oh my gosh.
And there's some people who need themselves a Mando, because Mando is a full body product. It's not just it's not the pits, it's all the bits.
And the bits, you name it. It was created by a doctor who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and it was clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. So
72 hours.
72 hours, Kev. And you get
no late fees on this stink. No late fees on this stink.
No late fees at all. Solid deodorant stick formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts. And you also get a spray deodorant, aluminum free and ideal for hard to reach places. So you can get Mando's starter pack, and it is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Just use code RUMOR at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
What's that promo code one more time?
That's promo code RUMOR. $5 off your starter pack, shopmando.com.
I love the comments supporting the live read as well. Mando, an offer you can't refuse like Brando.
Yes. Oh, very nicely done, wrestling.
Devin Dowling, that man do need some Mando.
I like it. Man, look at the support we're having. Thanks, guys.
Don't go commando. Get yourself some Mando.
Hey, we're going commando because there's no mention of the Death Riders today on the line.
Yes. They're still going to be on the show. They're still going to come out and run in and do all this stuff. What do you think of Edge versus Jon Moxley? That seems like the direction we're going here for the Revolution pay-per-view, which is a month away, right? Yes. It's about a month away. They're going to have the TV special in Australia. I don't see them having any presence on that show. I don't see any advertised element of Jon Moxley and Adam Copeland on that big arena show, by the way, that was supposed to be in a stadium, but then was sent to a 13,000 seat arena. And I don't think they're going to get 13,000 people.
I don't think so either.
So this is already starting off in a black eye where you have to fly to Australia and get crew there to do it and every different thing like that. So and that is
on Max too, right? It's only streaming on Max.
It's on Max with the tape delay.
Okay, with the tape delay.
So they're taping a day of, and you're going to get it like a few hours later. So
listen, I would just get this match out of the way. I want something. Just get this angle out of the way. It's like if you
are you saying just get the belt off Moxley already and get the Death Riders out of there?
Just get it out of here. And any way you can do that, if that's making it sure it's Cope versus him at Grand Slam, make it happen. Just do it, and then try to pivot away from it. Bring somebody else in there. Just change it up. Just get rid of this thing, or have something significant develop with this Death Riders angle that is not intriguing whatsoever right now. So.
We did our great Mando commercial. I had a fun time with that as well. Great product, Mando. Once again, Promo code what?
Rumor.
Someone giving another line. Don't go Commando without Mando.
Thank you. Yes, all Jake says that. So yes, do that for sure, guys.
I mean, wear underwear. I'm not telling you don't wear underwear.
Yeah. Wear underwear is always good.
It's always good. Always a good idea.
It's always good.
We had the Alexa Bliss question. Can we get to those before we get out of here?
Let's talk about that. So Alexa Bliss did make a return. We didn't get to touch upon that too much, I don't think, me and Robert. But yeah, she made an appearance, showed up as a babyface, got a huge reaction.
I was there.
Yes. And
one of the biggest pops.
Yes.
You have those like people come out. What are their pops? It was Cena was right there. Cena, Punk, Reigns. In the men's match, they got the 3 biggest reactions. Joe Hendry had a huge, because I would say Joe Hendry is maybe nowhere because everyone's singing along with the songs, stuff like that. But the fact that he got everyone to stomp and clap, and he wanted to do his like Queen Live Aid moment, and he got it, and then he got bounced. He beat up the Miz for a little bit. It was like, let him eliminate the Miz. Let Miz.
Yeah.
Oh, that was immediately when they touched each other. I was like, Miz should go to TNA and fight him for the title. Like immediately, it was like, the Miz is not doing a whole lot right now in WWE. He's a perennial Hall of Famer. I'm saying that right now. Miz will go in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Will, yeah.
If you want to open up the door and really say that this TNA WWE thing is real, have the Miz and then have him win the title. Have him do all of the cheap chicken shiz Miz things on TNA Impact. Tell him this is how you really do it, kid. like that. Like I would love that. Just being ADD. But Alexa Bliss, huge pop for her. A lot of debate about whether or not she was actually going to return to WWE. She was. Could they not come to terms on a deal? Are they working us? Are they working the sheets? Right. But she comes back, and it isn't clear what exactly she's going to do. We're going to find out, I believe, probably on SmackDown. And it seems like she's doing all the Twisted Miss Bliss stuff. She's referencing the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, in her entrance. So a lot of people are kind of connecting the dots here. Can we do some more questions before we sign off today?
Yeah, we'll take a couple more here. Let's see what we can see here.
Yeah, there's a Goldberg one. I like this Goldberg
one. Let's take a look at the Goldberg one. Would you like to see Goldberg in AEW or back in WWE? So I'm a Goldberg mark from way back when.
Goldberg,
big wrestler I ever met. So he will always hold a special place in my heart. So wherever, if he shows up in wrestling, I'm all for it. I think the way they produced him with Gunther is perfect, and I would like to see a match like that happen. It may be in build to WrestleMania.
They teased it. I mean, they did that on television. Sorry, guys, I don't think he's going to show up in All Elite Wrestling. He said that on College Game Day, that he's going to have one. He said on national television on ESPN, and then WWE has referenced it plenty on social media themselves, but they didn't do any follow-up, and I thought they might do something at the Rumble.
Right. I thought so too.
But do you think, plans change, pal, and do you want to put Goldberg's last match, wedge it into a WrestleMania weekend over 2 nights with all these other big things going on? Or do you want to do something with Goldberg that says, hey, let's get you away from WrestleMania so that your moment really stands by itself?
SummerSlam might be the perfect time to do something.
No, I would do it at Backlash.
Really?
Or the next time when are you in Atlanta? When you can really make it special, where, he played football for the Falcons. He was big with WCW there. That's their home base of operations. Where can you do it in that region where he can be a real attraction and it can feel really special? That's more the Nick Khan thought of how do we get these people back and make it feel as special as it can be. And with Goldberg, it's going to be, it's not going to be a long match. It's going to be a brutal one. And it is, do you want Goldberg to be the guy who gets you ready for Gunther fighting someone at WrestleMania? Because, you watched Raw this week. I didn't get any impression that Goldberg's going to be jumping into a program in front of Jey Uso. And I don't think the internet would love him getting in line in front of Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, do we have a Saturday night's main event before?
No, I think we're
before WrestleMania.
Maybe.
I think they might have one like the week before. I'm not sure about that.
Interesting. I'm not.
People calling it Goldberg versus Gunther at SummerSlam. Calling it now in New York. Yeah, Dre, that would be a big deal. You're right.
Big time.
Is there any wrestlers that I have that have not turned to WWE that you really want to see back? I want to see back in the mix. There's always plenty.
Yeah, you really.
There's always plenty.
Yeah, there's you could come up with a list. That would take a little bit of thought, I think.
There's a lot of people in AEW that are just there, that are not like on television. I haven't seen Sarai in a long time. Where is Miro? I know he's just kind of waiting. He's gone. He's waiting for his deal.
Sarai, I think, is officially gone from AEW.
Is she officially gone?
Yeah,
officially gone. Officially out of the picture. I thought I thought she signed a new deal. Didn't she sign a new deal, or she has like a whole or like a rollover deal, that type of thing?
I think I just saw a report that she was done with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So,
certainly interesting here.
Yeah, Scorpio Sky, somebody I haven't seen forever.
Where is he? He was such a core AEW guy when they started. Yeah. Such a core AEW guy when he started. Yeah. So for sure.
Interesting.
Feeling it. People want to know what we think of the Super Bowl. What do you think? Who do you think is winning the Super Bowl?
Chiefs. I got
Chiefs.
Oh yeah. I think
it's a fix. It's all fixed.
It's not fixed. Guys. Come on. It's just a team being good. Sure. Yeah, you're going to get some calls that go a certain way sometimes. And
here's what I'll say with the internet, because you had Travis Kelce. They do a ton of media this week. Like, as if NFL players don't do enough media. This week they do like 3 days of it, and on a big week. Travis Kelce, the big star of the team, he just said, "Do you have any questions for the media?" Someone asked him that, so they could do the bounce back thing, right?
Yeah.
And they gave him the ball, and he ran with it, and he goes, "What are you guys doing, feeding this whole like fixed thing?" And there's a lot of people claiming that because they got 1-score games. There's always these calls that seem to go the Chiefs' way in playoff situations, and it seems to be the case. And someone feeding into this, but this is an exceptionally strong football team. And then some people saying, "Oh, Mahomes hasn't been as good as he once was, and the defense is holding." That's happened with so many teams. So many teams. And also, you already knew he was good, so he didn't have a great year, but the team has been built up so much that you can work around that. And they have an extremely good offensive line, extremely good offensive line.
Yeah.
And he has all these different tools, and they are beatable. I will say that, but they have had just things kind of go their way.
Right.
But I do get, though, as a Bulls fan in the 90s, that you'll have referees that go your way. Bulls fans, you breathe on Michael Jordan, you're getting a penalty, right?
But that happens with every star player, like in any league. Basically, you're gonna just get the call.
But I do think it's BS.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say who I think is going to win. I'm going to say what I want to see happen.
Okay.
I would love to see the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm not.
You don't need dynasties in every sport.
I like it. I like dominance.
Dynasty, break them. You know what I mean? I love a spine cracking thing. You know what I mean? Nope. Sorry, not today. Philadelphia gets it, bro. We're going to the Wawa. We're getting a cheesesteak, and we're going to Wawa, right? Man. And then you can get a sheath, all right? You can get a sheath right now, right?
Yeah, that's it. Well, Kev, what are you going to be doing for the rest of the week here? What do you got planned?
If you are in the general Wisconsin area tonight, I'm going to be performing at South Beloit, Wisconsin, right near the general Rockford region. Going to be at Mustang's Bar and Grill doing a free stand-up comedy show. Yeah. And then you can join me this Saturday night in Chicago that's why I was wearing this hat, at the Lincoln Lodge, my hometown comedy club, Lincoln Lodge, right there. This Saturday, I'm going to be headlining the Down and Dirty comedy show at 10 p.m. You can come out. You can hear me on the radio on Q101 in Chicago, and then you can see me and hear me on a bunch of different things. Sportskeeda Wrestling, we just dropped a bunch of new videos. Go check that out on YouTube. And AAW Pro Wrestling. AAW Pro Wrestling, our full Chi-Town Rumble show is free. The full 3-hour show is free right now on YouTube. Matt Riddle defending the AEW Heavyweight Championship against Ren Jones, a street fight with Maggie Lee and Sierra, and a big 30-plus man Rumble match.
Dang. Whoa, bro. Go check
I'm on commentary, bro.
Heck yeah, do it.
Get my lines in. Sorry, I promoted like 18 things there.
That's what you're here for. Hey, but guys, you can check it out. Tomorrow, me and RVD will be going live at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on rvdtv.com. And you can be sure we have a special guest lined up. So stay tuned for that. It's a good one. Someone RVD is very familiar with. So we'll be chatting up with that person. But tune in 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, rvdtv.com. And plus, I just recorded with Magnum TA and Greg Gagne. Yesterday, we did Straight Talk with the Boss, covered all of Royal Rumble, had some interesting insight. Greg talked about his time working with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes in OVW. And then we get Magnum's perspective on all the foldings that happen too. And we answer some legacy questions as well too. So be sure to check that out. That'll be up on fourhorsemannetwork.com. And you'll just type in Four Horsemen Network on your podcast feed of choice, and you can get it there too. Upcoming this week too. I'll be posting it today, or upcoming here. So, but Kev, good to have you back. Are you maybe able to do it tomorrow? Because we can have you back tomorrow.
If the chat wants it, I'm coming back.
There we go. So I want you back. And but
Baby,
right
come back.
Baby, come back. I'm gonna release
You can put it all on me.
and wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Baby, come back.
Baby, come back tomorrow.